Hi,
Hi,
everybody. I'm Dee Lisa West. I'm a dream doula. And this is Christina. Please introduce yourself.
I am Christina Spataro. I am a psychotherapist and relationship coach, but I love your title, Dream Doula. I love it.
Thank you. It's like, wait a minute, what? No, I do not help people have babies unless it's a baby in dreamland. But I'm so enamored with the idea of a doula. You know, it's a sacred thing to be at someone's birth or death and help them process this. And I also think it's a sacred thing to be helping someone with their dreams
Mhm.
and the dreams they have that they would love to create in their daytime reality, and also the kind of dreams we have at night. Tell me, Christina, do you remember your dreams?
Yes, I do. I'm actually a very vivid dreamer. I've always been a vivid dreamer. Um, I don't know whether it's because sometimes I will wake up because the dreams are so vivid, and maybe that's what helps me remember them. So yes, I do. And I actually have kept dream journals in my life. I've written things down. Um, you know, yes, you're a dream doula, and I respect that. And I am somebody who really values the benefit of dreaming. I mean, there's so many psychological studies that have been done on benefits and things like that. And of course, we all know Freud's famous interpretation of dreams and all that. But at the end of the day, what I love about dreams is it's this time where we're not caught up in the busyness of life. So we're actually able to just be. And when we just be, our amazing brain is processing our feelings, our worries, our dreams, our hopes, anything. And I find it fascinating. I
It is
really do.
fascinating. And the more one notices their dreams, I think the more one can notice your dreams.
Yes.
So first you're like, yeah, I don't know. I've had lots of people say to me, I don't remember my dreams. But then the next time I see them, they're like, you won't believe it, but I remembered a dream. Do you want to hear it? So
Mhm.
if you just start thinking about dreaming, there's a way that your consciousness lets you remember more of what you were
Yeah.
dreaming about. Now, tell me more about having vivid dreams. Are they vivid in color or
They're
feeling or everything?
everything.
Mm,
The colors, the sounds, the movements, the emotions. I mean, my dreams are a full sensory experience.
okay.
And they always have been. Now, I will give people a trick because they say a lot has to do with your sleep cycles, whether or not you remember your dream. Like if you've been, because they say we dream like in the REM state, and so you're more likely to remember it if you wake up not long after that. But what I will suggest is for people who maybe have a hard time remembering their dreams, you remember the most when you first wake up.
Yes.
So if I keep like a journal paper by your bed, you could even do it on your phone. I've so done that. So when you first wake up, write down everything you remember about your dream. And the funny thing is, as you get into the habit of doing that, you will remember more. And as just the act of writing it, you will start to maybe see patterns in your dreams that maybe you're helping you trying to figure something out.
Yeah, because that's good. That's good advice. I tell people the first 10 minutes of waking up is the best time to capture a dream ever, unless it's a
Mhm.
nightmare or really bright dream.
Right.
It will fade away as the day progresses, in fact, pretty quickly. And sometimes people wake up and they know that they were dreaming, but suddenly they can't remember what they were dreaming. And a really great trick for that is if you roll back over into that position you were just in dreaming, the dream might flood back into your memory.
Yes, that is
Then you
true.
can get up and write it down.
Exactly. The funny thing is, though, have you ever had, because this has happened to me, where you had just an amazing dream and it was so good, and then you woke up and you're like, shoot, I kind of wanted to finish that. And then you try to go back to sleep, but you can't always get back there.
I have tried. I do know people who can go back into the dream, but I've tried multiple times to go back into the dream, and I might maybe 1 out of 100 times
Yeah.
slip back into it, but that dream's gone, or
Yeah.
somewhere, who knows. It's very, very fascinating. I've been writing down my dreams for over 30 years.
Mhm.
A few years I didn't do it, but like for many, 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 many years, I'd have a dream journal or just a scrap of paper next to my bed, and I would write down, if I was in a big hurry that morning, I would write down 3 bullet points of the dream and then like, oh, finish it later. I met someone the other day in an artist group. She paints her dreams in the morning.
Ooh, I like that.
And she brought the journal. She had this beautiful leather bound journal with really pretty thick paper inside of it. And she wakes up in the morning and she says, I can look at any of these paintings and I'll remember the dream. She doesn't write a lot of words. She might write a little sentence or two on one page, and the other page is completely painted, some image from her dream. And so she showed me through the book. She said, this is a dream I had where my sister who has passed away came and talked to me. And she had a picture of like a golden person and then a person dressed in this kind of landscape. And then she said, and this is a dream. I was dreaming about my dog. And so each page has this image that she spent, and I thought, oh my goodness, that sounds so fun. I'm going to try it. So I went and bought a journal just like hers. And I painted one of my dreams, and I'll tell you what, it takes a long time to make a painting out of a dream. If you write down your dream, you can do that in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
If you paint the dream, it probably takes about an hour.
Mhm.
But it's a lovely way if you have a lot of time in the
Oh,
morning. It's a lovely way to start your day.
I actually like that idea of painting the dream. Now, to be fair, people have said anyone can be an artist. They have the proper training. Whenever I've tried to paint or draw, it's never kind of come out the way I wanted it to. My artistic medium is more of that of a writer. So for me, the writing of the dream, because the way I use the words and phrase the words, I can see the words invoke the image in my brain. That I have a hard time taking the image in my brain and putting it down onto paper. There's some weird disconnect with me.
Well, even for I went to art school for 4 years. I'm a trained artist. And so I have an idea in my head. It never translates down to exactly what I see in my imagination onto any page. If I'm drawing or painting, even when I painted that dream yesterday, I'm like, yeah, this doesn't really look like 3 women standing by a river, but I'm going to remember that it is 3 women standing by a river.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, now what's a river really look like if you look? Yeah. So as I was painting, I was thinking this doesn't look like the dream image, but that's okay. And to be honest, this woman's one of the pictures in the dream is like people were sitting around a table having a meal, but her people look like little stick figures.
Oh, I can do that.
Anybody can make the stick figures, and I mean, you could do that if that pleased you. But I thought it was so interesting to see how different people capture their dream images and are connected to their dreaming. Because I do really think, and I know that as a psychologist, you probably have even a deeper understanding of this, because I've studied what Freud thought about dreams and what Carl Jung thought about dreams and what modern people think about dreams. And I really think that dreaming is a different level of consciousness than being awake during the day. So we're some people say this is a dream. We're in a simulation and we're dreaming our life. And the people that are really good at manifestation will say, you can dream up your life and you can manifest what you would love.
Right.
You wouldn't love what you're dreaming it either way, you're creating your reality. And then you can go below that and say, while you're sleeping, there's another reality, because we're in a lower level of consciousness, a different level of consciousness, maybe a higher level actually. And the dreams are a different way of interacting with reality, and reality seems like it's unreal in
Mhm.
dreamland, but sometimes it seems uber real.
Yes,
And there's things you can do in dreams that you can't do with your human waking body.
that is
You
true.
can fly, you can talk to people that have passed over,
Yes,
and you can walk through walls.
yes. Are you
Uh,
in dreams? I've been doing that.
you've been walking through walls in dreamland?
Yes, and flying and talking to people that have passed on. Yes.
Yeah. So you can do things in dreamland that you can't do when you're awake, or maybe you can if you're on some level of mystics path and you do a lot of meditation. Because I think there's waking life,
Mhm.
we're awake. There's dream life, we're asleep. There's meditation, we're in a different level of. There are all those different levels of consciousness. And yes, so you talk to dead people in dreams. So have I.
Yes, I totally have. And it's been like this since I was a small child, actually. Um, One of the first people I lost was my grandmother when I was
Mhm.
little. And I saw her in my dream. And then the person after that was my Uncle Joe when he passed away. And I was a little bit older. And the funny thing is, each person I've talked to in the dream, it's always been different depending on my relationship with them. You know, like I have a vivid memory of my grandmother. Like I'm little and she's just hugging me. So with her, I want that affectionate part. And then with my Uncle Joe, that dream was more of a curiosity. Like I was talking, like, oh, it's so good to see you. So are you in heaven? You know, is grandma with you? You know, like I was asking all these questions. You know,
Was he talking back, giving you answers?
he didn't answer me. I think I asked too many questions.
I've seen my father in dreamland. He doesn't talk,
Yeah.
but it's fun to see him.
Oh, it's totally fun. And dreams can also be very cathartic. You know, I don't mean to depress anybody out there, but when we lose people, it's very painful because we love them. We want them here. So dreams can give us this amazing opportunity to see them again and to say, I love you. I also have seen my father in my dreams because he passed away. And one of the painful things when he passed away was I didn't get a chance to say, I love you like the last time. And so in the dream, I was crying and I said, I love you.
Oh,
And he said, I love you too. And he hugged me. And when I woke up, I still missed him, but I felt such a sense of peace because I got to say, I love you again.
right.
You know,
And he got to say, I love you back and hug you.
yes, yes. I've also done the same with my mother. You know, they're both together now and saying I love you. When she was still passing there, I still that dream I thoroughly remember. I'll never need to write it down because it's just was so strong and the memory was so strong.
That's so beautiful. Well, many years ago, one of my friends told me about a dream she had. She had a very dear friend who was terminally ill with some kind of cancer. And she said she was really upset with the husband because he wouldn't let her come visit in the final weeks that she was alive. He's like, no, no visitors. You can't come. And she really felt bad about that. She wanted to go say goodbye to her friend one more time. And she had a dream that was very realistic. And in the dream, she and her friend were sitting around a table, just chatting and having tea. And then her friend said, I've got to go now. And she woke up from the dream and she realized the next day she found out that her friend had passed over. So she really felt like that was her final conversation with her friend. that it was real on some level.
Yes.
And it was probably even more profound than it would have been in person, because she was the physical body was so ill. They couldn't have sat around a table having chuckles and drinking tea together. So isn't that a beautiful story?
That is a beautiful story. And that speaks to, because I do think, as is everything in life, I think dreams have a purpose. You know, some people will think, oh, it was just mental, garbage in the, no, I think dreams do have a purpose in our lives. And I think definitely a huge purpose is to help us to get closure when we need it,
Mm-hmm.
to connect when we need it, and are unable to do that in our waking life.
Yeah. Well, what about lucid dreams? Do you ever know that you're dreaming when you're in a dream?
Yes.
And then what do? Are you still an observer, like you're watching a movie, but you're like, oh, this is cool, this is a dream? Or do you try to manipulate it somehow?
I've done both.
Ooh.
I've totally done both. So it depends on the nature of the dream. If so, some dreams are so like, sometimes when you have almost like a nightmare thing, you get scared and you're like, okay, then I realize I'm dreaming. Oh, wait a minute, I can take control of this, because I had a dream where I dreamt like this creature was going to attack me, and all of a sudden it was me, and suddenly there was a stick there. I'm like, I can beat this thing to death. Like, I got this. And then this other one is silly but fitting, because I'm a diabetic, so I've cut sugar and other things out of my life for good health. So when I first cut sugar out and cakes and cookies and all that, I was having dreams where I was eating this stuff. So at first in the dream, I was saying, no, I can't eat that. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm dreaming. I can eat this cheesecake. I can sit right down and finish this off, and it's not going to do a darn thing to my sugar.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I know, it's
So
beautiful.
you can eat all the things you can't eat in waking life in dreamland, and let yourself do it.
Oh my goodness. I was like, that dream was seriously fun, because I had all my delicious foods that I like, but I can't eat because it's not good for my diabetes. I just went to town.
Okay, so what else did you eat besides cheesecake?
Oh, let's see. I had cheesecake. I had, of course, chocolate. Must have chocolate. I had shakes, because again, diabetes, just got to watch the sugar, because I eat food. I don't starve myself, but these are things I can't eat. Pastas, bread. I don't like bread. Bread with butter, just munching on the bread, all these things. Oh yeah. And then I was a whole feast, and I was eating all these different things, and I was eating all these creamy things and just scooping it up.
Nice.
Well, I know.
Let me ask you about the stick and the creature. When you realized you could kill the creature that was chasing you with the stick, or you could beat it. Did you actually do that in the dream, or
yes,
did you?
I did.
All right.
Yeah, because he was coming after me.
So you're like whack, 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 and then what happened? The creature disappeared or died or what?
He disappeared.
That's cool. I tell people when they're having a nightmare and maybe someone's chasing you or someone's trying to kill you or whatever, if you realize you're in the dream, you can go, wait a minute, why are you chasing me? And sometimes they stop chasing you. Or
It's
just
true.
For me, when I'm in a nightmare and I realize like, oh, wait, this is a dream. Sometimes right then I just wake up. I'm out of the dream because I realize it's a dream. And sometimes I'm like, wait, I'm falling down the side of this cliff. I'm rock climbing and I'm going to fall down. I'm like, wait a minute, it's a dream. I can fly, or I can fall up, or what. Then I can get out of the perilous situation I'm in.
Yes. It's actually quite empowering when you realize you could do that, because I totally had that dream. Maybe I'm about to fall over tonight, and all of a sudden I was, wait a minute, I can fly, and suddenly I'm flying around, and this is fun.
That's so cool. I also talked to a woman who said, if you're ever in a dream and you're lucid and you're going down a hallway and there's doors, open the doors.
Oh yeah.
Go inside. She goes, because they're portals to other worlds. I was like,
Ooh.
what? Okay. Yeah. Be curious. See what's behind the door.
See what's behind the doors. I think it also speaks what we said before, that sometimes in dreams, our brain is trying to tell us stuff. We're trying to process things in relationships, maybe. So maybe you're having a struggle, maybe with your partner. And then you might be dreaming and having this conversation, but it might be hard to have this conversation in your waking life, but in your dreaming life, you're getting this stuff out.
Yes. Yes.
And
I once, yes,
very,
yes. I once had a dream where I was just yelling at one of my real estate clients when I was a busy real estate broker.
mm-hmm.
And I realized they were pushing all my buttons, and maybe I needed to be, when I woke up, I'm like, oh, maybe I need to be a little bit more firm with these people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to really yell at them like I did in Dreamland, but obviously there's something there. There's something
there.
there's a
Yeah.
message. Yeah.
And you need
Well,
to be
sometimes it's a simple message too, right?
Yeah.
What to eat for breakfast.
Oh yeah, totally. It could be something totally simple. The funniest dream was in pre-pandemic days when I was commuting to work. So to deal with, to avoid like crazy rush hour, whatever, I would get up like at 5:45 in the morning. Because once you hit 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, you're, whether it's train, car, whatever, you're gonna be stuck. You're not going anywhere. It's gonna take you 2 hours. So, but sometimes you don't want to get up at 5:45 in the morning. Sometimes you want to sleep. And I had more than once, I would have a dream. I literally would dream that I woke up, got dressed, went to work, did the whole day. And then all of a sudden I'm waking up and I'm like, shoot, I didn't do it. So the brain is actually brilliant. It's like, okay, I really want to sleep more, but she knows she's got to get up. So let's make her think she got up, went to work, so she doesn't feel like she has to, and she'll let us sleep a little longer.
That's brilliant. I was
That's brilliant.
many years ago, I was a cook on ships. And so every day I made breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And there was a big lull between lunch and dinner, and I could take a nap. And on more than one occasion, while I was napping, I was cooking dinner in my dreams.
There you go.
And so I'd be chopping all the food and cooking all the food. And then oftentimes I'd be like, oh no, in the dream, I forgot the main dish. And then I'd wake up and go, oh, now I have to start cooking, but I'm not going to forget the main dish.
There you go. There you go. I mean, and then let's face it, the dream that all of us have, even when we're years out of school, we dream we're back in school and we haven't studied for the test, or we forgot about this class. Like, that shows the psychological impact of that period in our lives.
Indeed. Indeed. Or you're in school and you're naked.
Oh yeah.
Like not studying for the test and being naked, I think is the same message.
Oh yeah, totally. You are
you
worried
don't
about
know.
stuff, you're
Yeah.
vulnerable, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Again, dreams give us that freedom to be whoever we are. And we can even be, our braver selves in dreams. Maybe we can have that difficult conversation with somebody who's still living, but we can't talk to them for a variety of reasons. But we can have that or maybe there was a rupture in the relationship, so we didn't have that closure, but we can have that closure in the dream.
Yes. Yes. Dreams are so fascinating. And I disagree with Freud, of course, thinking that every dream means something sexual or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It was. No.
No, I disagree with that too. 100%. He was of a time and of a viewpoint. And while I will value that we were looking more at the unconscious than we ever have, and so certain things like that, there's a lot of stuff I don't agree with either. And no, not things are sexual, because, and here's the interesting thing too, because when I was studying dreams and studying, how to help clients deal with dreams, you do have these books like with these universal dream symbols and everything. But here's the thing. The dreams are very individual to the person having it. So for
Yes.
instance, for me, that creature on the stick might mean something totally different than it would mean for somebody else.
I was just talking about that with a friend the other day, or a new acquaintance. I hadn't ever talked to her before, and we're talking about dreams, and she goes, well, tell me about this dream I had. What do you think it means? And I said, I don't know. It's your dream.
Yeah.
And people expect the dream doula to have some
Have all the
messages.
answers.
Like, I'm not here to tell you birth your dream. I'm here to help you birth your dream. So,
Right.
for example, you could look up what spiders mean,
Mhm.
but that spider for one person is not a spider for another person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what is that really? It's more, I think, when people are trying to, if they're puzzled by a dream meaning, it's more about what did you feel like in that dream?
Yes.
Were you
Exactly.
scared? Were you excited? Were you just feeling so much love? What is that similar to in your waking life?
Yes.
Because when people connect what's happening in waking life to what's
Mhm.
happening in this dream, then they get the message that they're trying to tell themselves in dream language,
Mhm.
which I think is a different language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. And so when I do dream work with clients, basically I will talk about the dream and I will ask them those very questions. How did you feel at this point and that point? Does this remind you of anything going on here? Okay, I gotta do movies, right?
Got my pen ready to write down the
There you
movie.
go. So I'm actually thinking of two right now and more even coming. It is amazing how many movies have dealt with dreams. And I think we may have mentioned Spellbound before with Ingrid Bergman, Gregory Peck. Do we ever mention Spellbound?
Spellbound. I don't remember.
Okay. Spellbound. Is with Ingrid Bergman, Gregory Peck. So spoiler warning, spoiler warning. So Gregory Peck plays this man who has amnesia and he is blocked out this traumatic event. And Ingrid Bergman plays this psychiatrist who's trying to help him. And there's a whole other story there, but you should see it's an amazing movie. So there's this whole dream sequence that actually was designed by the legendary Salvador Dali. And talk about symbolism, because he keeps having this reoccurring nightmare and he doesn't know what it means. And then so throughout the movie, things start getting pieced out as to what this could mean. And then the end plot, you realize like, oh my gosh, like this is where that is. So like, again, I'm trying not to spoil too much because it's really a cool mystery. But for instance, he keeps seeing this wheel. So that turns out to be a revolver. And then he sees cards playing 21, the 21 Club. It's like, I'm not doing it justice. You've got to see this movie, Spellbound, Gregory Peck, Ingrid Bergman.
Okay. I'll put it in the show notes.
It's a good movie. Another movie I like, it's an old movie as well, but a little less old. It's from, I want to say, the 1980s, called Dreamscape with Kate Capshaw and Dennis Quaid. The premise of the movie is there's a covert government agency that basically is using people who are psychic to get into other people's dreams. So before there was Inception, which set a similar premise, there was Dreamscape. So Inception goes on to whole trippy places where you're not even sure at the end, is it a dream or not? But this is really interesting because it deals with the idea of dreams as fears, dreams as wish fulfillment. And it also deals with the idea that if something happens to you in a dream, if you die in a dream or you get hurt in a dream, would that happen to you in real life? So they deal with all of that. So it's kind of suspense. What is it's? I want to say horror. It's like a suspense, little romance there, you know. So it's got a little bit, but it's dealing with that. And you also have Christopher Plummer, who's playing a bad guy. And it's really about the power dreams can have on our lives, and just how powerful are they. And it's interesting because it also shows the power of dreams to heal. So for instance, if you face something in your dream, are you now prepared to face it in life? So interesting film, 1980s, Kate Capshaw, Dennis Quaid, Dreamscape. And again, Inception had a similar idea, but a little bit of more of an even trippier level, where this is a whole team of people now going into people's dreams and using it to influence them and stuff. So, and then there's another movie, I've been trying to remember the name of this film, because it reminded me of what you said. Is this a reality? Do we dream this reality? Whatever. So the whole movie is about people's dreams, and then they wake up and they're in this village or whatever. And you go through this whole movie of going through people's dreams, then being in this village, and then they have this whole plot thing going on in this town. And then at the end, you've realized it's all been a dream of this one character.
Cool.
Yeah, and for the life of me, I saw it on TV as a kid, and I cannot remember the name of it. I can't remember what even actors were in it, but I remember that idea so vividly, how it was all about dreaming and falling asleep. And I think it was loosely based on a famous author's story. So we get the idea as, what are we dreaming? Why are we dreaming it? And of course, how many movies have used the nightmare motif?
Yeah.
Where our hero or heroine has a nightmare about something going on, and then they wake up, or like almost like a premonition thing. So dreams have always played a crucial role in a lot of movies, because they play a crucial role in the stories of our lives.
That is like a mic drop. We got to stop right there. Dreams play a crucial part in our lives.
Yes.
Bye for now.
Happy dreaming, everyone.